Two sides to a story. We'll have both.
An icon, a legend, a controversy. O.J. Simpson dead at 76.
And how you can save lives. Find out more later in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Ben Wolf.
And I'm Sebastian Nava. Nearly all abortions are en route to be banned in Arizona. The backlash Republicans are facing for this decision is monumental, with some notable politicians speaking out against the ruling. The state Supreme Court gave the go-ahead on Tuesday to move forward with a law from 1864. Lost in the mix are those seeking medical treatment that can only be administered by an abortion provider. CNN's Cole Higgins reports.
Chaos on the floor of the Arizona House of Representatives Wednesday night as Republicans block an effort to repeal a near-total ban on abortion in the state.
All in favor of that motion, vote aye. Aye. All opposed, vote no. Ayes have it, so ordered.
The dramatic scene comes just one day after the Arizona Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday that an 1864 law banning nearly all abortions except when necessary to save a pregnant person's life is enforceable. The law carries a prison sentence of 2 to 5 years for abortion providers, making it one of the strictest laws in the country and solidifying abortion as a key issue in this year's elections.
Did Arizona go too far? Yeah, they did.
Former President Donald Trump is already shifting on a position he announced Monday that abortion should be left to the states, promising that Arizona's Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs would take care of it, quote, very quickly.
I'm sure that the governor and everybody else are going to bring it back into reason.
Meanwhile, with the abortion ban set to take effect in the coming weeks, it's the people of Arizona who are searching for answers.
They're confused. There's a lot of chaos. People want to know just how long we're going to be able to provide services. Like I said, we're very, very focused on ensuring that Arizonans have access for as long as we are legally able to provide access.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
While the controversy in the Arizona legislation tells one story, a new poll from KFF shows that most women want to see the procedure legalized. In states where abortion is banned, nearly 70% of women polled say they want to see some form of legalization. Nationally, 3/4 of women polled say they want those rights protected. The poll comes almost 2 years after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. That ruling opened the door to recent abortion bans in 14 states and reduced access in 11 others. Meanwhile, back in Arizona, this issue will likely end up in the hands of voters as a measure on the November election ballot.
You know, Ben, I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a lot of storms around here recently.
I know, and you know, the walk to the studio is absolutely unbearable in weather like that. So let's take it over to our weather anchor, Grace Grimes, to see what's in store for us. Grace?
Thanks, guys. I am currently at North Lake Park, and as you can see, it is a beautiful spring day outside. We have a current temperature of 71, but it does feel like 69, and we have wind speeds of 10 miles per hour. As you can probably tell, my hair is blowing around, and we have super sunny conditions. On to tonight's conditions, we will have a temperature of 64 degrees. The feels like will be 61, and the wind speeds will slow down just a little bit at 5 miles per hour, and we are lucky to have a clear night tonight. Tomorrow's conditions, we will have a temperature of 77, but it will feel like 76. The wind speeds are going to pick back up at 13 miles per hour, but we will have another sunny and warm spring day tomorrow. That's all I have for First Look Weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Grace. We'll check back with you in a little bit. So, Ben, have you ever thought about being an organ donor?
You know, I have. I think it's a great way to make a difference. And luckily, our live reporter Landry Brady has more on what you can do. Landry?
Thanks, Ben. Since 1992, April has been considered National Donate Life Month, which is dedicated to bringing awareness to organ donation as well as encourages Americans to become organ donors. Just last year, organ donors saved more than 46,000 lives, with thousands of those being from Texas alone. And the goal is to keep that number growing this year. Every 8 minutes, someone is added to the transplant waiting list, where over 10,000 Texans are already in need. So the number of people registered is very important. On average, a single organ donor can impact up to 75 people's lives. So if you're interested in joining over 13 million organ donating Texans and becoming an organ donor, be sure to visit organdonor.gov/signup. Again, that's organdonor.gov/signup. Being an organ donor is only one way that you can make a huge difference in somebody's lives. Another way is by focusing on their mental health. ntTV's Emma Burns is in studio right now with more on how UNT is working to create other opportunities to help students cope. Emma, what do you have?
Thanks, Landry. Being a student nowadays can be a very, very stressful experience. Between classes, student organizations, and finals week, finding time to sit back and focus on yourself can be really, really difficult. Luckily for UNT students, an organization here on campus is on a mission to provide a fun and safe space for their students.
It might be exactly what you're looking for.
UPC is the University Programming Council. It is a completely student-led program. Special programs is what's putting on this particular event. So for at least our special programs, they're basically like the catch-all. Basically, students have the opportunity to research different things that students are doing all across the country and see kind of what students are interested in doing and try to make it come to life for our students here at UNT.
UPC's mission is to bring inclusivity to life.
One of our goals for UPC this year is to have more sensory-friendly events. So whenever we do have big events like this, we also try to have more like quiet, contained, sensory-friendly events to help people from different ranges. If they're more of a get free stuff, get free drinks, that's sort of like their vibe to kind of chill down as a student. We had those available.
UPC benefits like the mental health of students because you're going here to North Texas and you just walk by and you just see all these fun events. So maybe you're just having a really bad day, you're down in all of it, and you just look up and there's all these bubbles floating around. It's just like kind of that good energy, that good vibe. To spread joy.
I've got to say, UPC has gone above and beyond this year with their events. I think I'm going to go run by their office to see what's in store for next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Emma. Stay tuned for a look at the life of O.J. Simpson and some four-legged friends making a difference in the community.
1,
I'm so sorry.
2, 3.
What?
You're right, Mom. I have.
This year's NCAA tournament has brought in groundbreaking viewership.
And with that comes many opportunities for players to make money on their likeness.
Yeah, guys, this year's NCAA tournament saw the record TV ratings, with the women's title game averaging over 18.7 million viewers. And a big part of that success comes from the excellence of Caitlin Clark. Everyone knows that Caitlin has changed the game, but less people know that the game is changing for her and many other student athletes. Ever since a change in legislation in 2021, students have been allowed to earn money off their own name, image, and likeness. CNN's Michael Yoshida takes a look at how money off the court is changing the landscape of college sports.
With H&R Block to launch
college athletes.
When the odds get beaten, the chicken fingers get eaten, baby.
Capitalizing on endorsement deals.
My name is Olivia Miles. I'm dropping my t-shirt. It's become a really big part of the game. There's a lot more added pressures, I'd say, you know, to get your business going, to get an agent, to build your brand.
They're also cashing in on their name, image, and likeness from NIL collectives, operating independent of schools These pool funds from boosters and other sources.
It's basically like negotiating with a general manager in the NFL or NBA, but at the college level. And obviously, the higher the prospect, the more the money.
College football is the biggest NIL sport. Every school in the Southeastern Conference or SEC has at least one NIL collective.
It's helpful for me to make my name pop out and come out more.
Opportunities continue to expand. New company Nilly pays student athletes up front for their NIL rights and pairs them with a financial advisor.
If a kid is able to learn about money, to invest properly, that goes a long way.
And allows fans to invest in the athletes.
We believe that this is a really good deal for all parties.
Nilly earns revenue from the athletes' NIL rights and shares it with investors and the athletes, who receive a majority of the profit.
We didn't have this 21 years ago when I came out of high school and had to go to the pros because of my financial situation. It's time for the athletes to be able to control their own destiny.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
O.J. Simpson soared to fame as number 32 for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm sorry for all of it.
And plummeted to infamy as inmate number 1027820 in the Nevada Department of Corrections. In between, Simpson led a life filled with more surreal drama than all of his various film and TV projects combined.
O.J., you're tough. Come on, come on.
Mass media experts say Simpson's sensational televised low-speed chase,
I have O.J. in the car,
arrest and murder trial
doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Stand as the first reality show, and perhaps the greatest three-ring television phenomenon ever. At one point, the world heard O.J. Simpson's ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, say,
I don't want to stay on the line, he's gonna beat the shit. Wait a minute.
Then later, Simpson was charged with the horrific murders by knife of Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman.
Ron and Nicole were butchered.
The trial made lawyers and even witnesses household names.
Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
When the jury freed Simpson, celebration erupted in parts of Los Angeles. But Simpson would never recapture his idol status. Simpson first sprinted into the national spotlight as the Heisman Trophy-winning running back at the University of Southern California. Then 11 spectacular years with the NFL vaulted him to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Simpson cashed in on the popularity.
Go, O.J., go!
Becoming a pitchman for Hertz and an actor. Becoming well known for the Naked Gun movies.
O.J. Simpson, as you've never seen him before.
Simpson played a lawman on screen and ran into trouble with the courts off screen. He lost the multi-million-dollar wrongful death suit brought by the families of his ex-wife and Ron Goldman, then moved to Florida. In 2000, Simpson was accused of assault in a road rage incident in Miami. He was found not guilty. In 2005, he was found guilty and fined for stealing satellite television. Then in 2007 in Las Vegas, police arrested him on several felony charges, including kidnapping and armed robbery. In that case, Simpson and armed accomplices raided a hotel room in what he called an attempt to just get back some of his stolen belongings.
And I didn't know I was doing anything illegal. I thought I was confronting friends and retrieving my property.
The Nevada jury never bought his story and instead sent him to prison. He was released on parole 9 years later in the dead of night with no fanfare and no bright future. Just the distinction of arguably the greatest rise and fall in pop culture history.
O.J. Simpson was, of course, the center of controversy, but many people are still wondering when his funeral will be. Well, the plans for the funeral have not yet been announced, but when they are, we will let you know. Ben, Sebastian, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jackson. You know, Sebastian, I just cannot wait for summer. Warm weather, time in the pool, it just cannot come quick enough.
You're absolutely right, Ben. So right now, let's take it over to our weather anchor, Grace Grimes, for our full look at weather. Grace?
Thanks, guys. We are having a beautiful day all across North Texas. In Denton, we have temperature of 71. Graham is a temperature of 70. Over in Sherman, we have a temperature of 68, and Sulphur Springs 67. So all across North Texas, we have temperatures in the high 60s and low 70s. That's a beautiful spring day to me, and hopefully those temperatures will heat up soon for the summer. Let's take a look at what the state of Texas is looking like. So all across Texas, we do have, again, some really nice temperatures. Abilene, we have a temperature of 74, Austin 79, Houston 78, and over in El Paso, it's heated up a little bit with a temperature of 81. And let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. So tomorrow, expect a nice and sunny day, and Saturday and Sunday, it's expected to be partly cloudy. On Monday, expect a 50% chance of rain, and that will clear up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Overall, this next week, the temperatures are going to be really nice in the high 70s and low 80s. That's all I have for today's weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Grace. After 6 years of service dedicated to the protection and safety of UNT and its students, Keegan, an explosive detecting canine officer, is retiring. Keegan joined the department in late 2018 and served for about 6 years. The average service for a canine officer being 5 to 8 years. He will be spending his retirement with his handler, Lieutenant Brackley. And from all of us here at ntTV, we wish him a happy retirement filled with treats and games.
Sebastian, you know I love dogs, and this month it is all about our pets.
Oh, that's absolutely right. I love my dog's patches and socks back home. But let's also not forget about our furry friends down in the shelter. Our live reporter Valeria Herrera has more. Valeria?
Thanks, guys. Today I'm super excited because today is National Pet Day. And as a dog lover, I'm going to go all out. National Pet Day falls April 11th every year, and it's dedicated to not only celebrating our four-legged friends, it also is a way to spread awareness, to be responsible with pet care, and to also bring awareness to the animals at the animal shelter. If you're looking for a way to add a new addition to your family, I highly recommend checking your animal shelter and see who's ready to come home to you. To my Shih Tzu back at home, I love you, Coco. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Valeria. These days, animals take on a variety of jobs, and one program is using dogs in an unusual way to help school kids become better readers. Vic Reichart has more.
Roxy wants you here.
Love shop for pugs.
6-year-old Ruth Street is reading to Roxy, a golden retriever mix whose job is to help kids feel comfortable and confident enough to read a book out loud.
It can be hard at the end of the day of a long school day to sit down and practice reading a little bit longer, but having a cute pup beside you can certainly help.
The Glendale Branch Library on the Northeast Side is one of several area libraries using dogs as reading partners in the Pause to Read program.
Join the wise owls of
they're the perfect buddy for learning to read, and the kids really just seem to come out of their shell like far more than if a dog wasn't there.
Children's librarian Nancy Poppleton says the program is important, especially in a state where the Department of Education says 1 in 5 third graders failed the standardized reading test last year.
This is a game changer in that, because kids who especially are reluctant readers or they think they don't like reading, this makes it so much more palatable for them because the dog doesn't do anything except for wag its tail.
Ruth is a kindergarten student at Clearwater Elementary School.
This is the book that I read. It's called Run Shop for Pug.
She was among about a half dozen kids who visited the library to read to Roxy on Tuesday night.
It was like I was reading to my little sister, but it was actually a dog.
Well, her sister is definitely less furry than Roxy, but she's also a good listener.
But Street says regardless,
Good job.
the confidence Ruth is gaining through this is what matters.
Well, I think it's clear the impact that Roxy is having there on that community in Indiana.
Another impact on the community is sports. And one boxing gym here in Denton is making quite the hit.
And that boxing gym may not be the only company that's thriving here, as Denton becomes one of the best cities in Texas for business.
A 20-minute walk? I don't want to do this right now.
Don't worry, you can just use Transit.
Transit? What's that?
Transit is a mobile app that provides real-time tracking to connect buses, UNT shuttles, and even A trains. Simply download the app, then tap on the search bar and type where you want to go. In a matter of seconds, you get results for all available routes. And the best part of it is, it's completely free for UNT students. What are you doing?
I'm downloading it right now.
Download Transit today and remember, make life better without a car.
Denton, Texas has been named among the best cities for business according to a recent study.
Our live reporter Alexandria Teeters has more on where Denton ranks among other cities in Texas.
Thanks, guys. Denton was ranked as one of the top cities for business in Texas. Denton was ranked number 7, following cities like Dallas, Houston, and McKinney. The city was praised for its quality of power supply, which it ranked first in. The city also exceeds in diversity and the possibility for business growth. The report included critiques of Denton as well, such as slowness during the summer months and road maintenance needs. Economic Development Director Brittany Sotillo said the high ranking is due to collective efforts from the business community that they remain dedicated to continuing. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Back to you at the desk.
Right there.
Thanks, Alexandria. Denton has been an ideal place for growing a business for a while now. That includes small family-owned businesses that have been serving the community for years. I went along with the Verde Deporte team to find out how one local boxing gym owner is building the bridge between the sport he loves and the community he represents. Located right off University Drive here in Denton is the Denton Boxing Gym, also known as Jimenez Old School Boxing Gym. The gym has been open since 2009 and has been run by none other than trainer Jose Jimenez, who began his boxing trainer career with his own kids in his garage.
When we started to box as kids, there was a man and he trained us. I will never forget how he trained us, and I told myself if he could do it, so could I.
Inspired by the man who introduced him to boxing, Jimenez set out to become a trainer of his own, starting at his own house, where many parents saw him and sent their kids to train with him.
Well, I always thought you need to learn how to defend yourself, so I started training them in the house. Then a lot of people came to stop and look at us and tell us, we're going to send our kids. I still remember having 12 guys there at the house, and that's all we could do every afternoon.
Jimenez has also drawn inspiration from his Hispanic heritage and sees boxing as a great influence in the Latino community.
I think as Hispanics, we always need a way to defend ourselves. I tell my guys, I'll teach you how to fight and defend yourself, then after, I'll support whichever sport they do.
If you want to watch the full story on Jimenez Boxing Gym in Spanish, be sure to check out our latest episode of Verde Deporte on the ntTV Sports YouTube page.
You know, boys, I've always been a bit of a Muay Thai guy myself, but lately I've been looking into boxing. I've been thinking about getting into training and everything like that.
You know, me too. One of my friends actually got me one of those little tabletop mini speed bags that we're going to start, punching in like crazy in training because I have a big fight against our sports anchor, Jordan Lindsay, coming up.
You know what? You can train all you want. I don't even think it's going to be that big of a fight.
Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time after the show to settle that. But speaking of sports and knockouts, I heard there's someone waiting for their big matchup coming soon. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, Ben, Luka Doncic will have his third playoff matchup
against the Los Angeles Clippers, and I think he will finally get over the hump. We'll provide you with the news after the break. The Dallas Mavericks defeated the Miami Heat last night, securing a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Luka Doncic and the Mavs will now face the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round of the NBA playoffs. This is not the first time we will see the Clippers in the playoffs. The Mavericks faced the Clippers in both the 2020 and the 2021 postseason, both resulting in the Mavs being eliminated from the playoffs. We'll see if the Mavs break the losing streak this year with their newly acquired team. The Texas Rangers just lost a 3-game series against the Oakland A's. The Rangers only won one of their 3 games against the A's. This will be their first series of the year that resulted in a loss. It is still early in the season, and maybe the Rangers can show that they are the championship team that all of baseball seen last year. The Rangers will have a chance to bounce back against the Astros in a World Series rematch tomorrow at 7 p.m. There are many intramural sports students can become involved in here at UNT. You have football, basketball, baseball, but how about ultimate frisbee? I visited the Filipino Student Association to see what about the sport brings them together. The Filipino Student Association formed an intramural frisbee team here at UNT. Here at Victory Field is one of the many practices the team has. Team captain Tyler Pham talks about how this team has brought him and his teammates closer as friends.
It's just friends and other friends, like friends bringing their other friends, and we get along. Sometimes we have like some kickback together, some like team dinner, and that's how we get along. It's like a family. Tyler is not the only person that the team had a positive impact on. Team co-captain Dominic Prong talked about why he wanted to become involved with the team.
So I started playing frisbee for this team 2 years ago. It was kind of hard getting into at first because it's a very niche sport. Like not a lot of people know about it. But like as I started playing more and more often, I started like growing to love the game. Started seeing how others might love the game too. That's what made me want to be co-captain as well.
For those who don't know about the sport, Dominic shares an important message to them.
I want them to know that like frisbee is a lot more than just catching a frisbee and just like scoring. It's kind of like soccer, like other sports as well. Like you gotta see the whole field. Gotta utilize options and gotta like. I want them to know that this sport is more than what it seems.
Join any kind of intramural sports, visit the UNT website or download the Intramural League's app to see what teams you can join here on campus. That is all for sports. Now back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Jordan. You know, Ben, I love baseball and, even a little bit of ultimate frisbee that we just talked about. But, I think I've been trying to get back more into like mixed martial arts and UFC and all that.
Well, you'll be interested to know that UFC 300 is coming up soon, and you already know that I'll be watching.
Oh, really? So, tell me about, who's going to be fighting all that, because I'm really trying to get myself back into it.
Well, we've got some amazing fights in store. We've got Alex Pereira, the defending champ, versus Jamal Hill, as well as Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. I mean, it's going to be a great bout.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Join us again thank you for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again next week right here on North Texas Television.